Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
I've said it before, and I say it again. We need to fire Joe Woods. I'm pretty sure he's a great guy, but with the defense we have and all those things before Anthony Walker and all them got hurt, I feel like we should have been at least still up to par. We had too much of a talented defense to be losing, in my opinion, to teams who we should have beat. I think next year this division is going to go to either Cleveland or Cincinnati, both Ohio teams in the AFC North. I just don't see Baltimore paying Lamar that much money, and the Steelers, God only knows what they're up to. I just want to know you guys' thoughts. Go Browns. Woof, woof.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Let's welcome in Brad Ward from the Orange and Brown Report, also host of the All Eyes on Cleveland podcast. Brad, I agree. What are your thoughts on Joe Woods?
I could not agree more, Dave. I think that Joe Woods has proven over a 3-year period there's enough body of work there that there's no excuses. And you know, a lot of people are fear that like he's going to save his job down the stretch here. And I just feel like, Dave, like that this front office and Kevin Stefanski are smart enough to not let a good defensive performances against the Texans and a Tyler Huntley-led Ravens, Andy Dalton, Taylor Heineke, whoever the Steelers run out there at quarterback, right? Like, you can't let those good defensive performances sway you off of what you've seen all year. I mean, the damage has already been done with this defense. They've had multiple blunders this year that have cost them games. They've underperformed greatly. I just think it's unfathomable for me to think that a team that was willing to make a win-at-all-cost move like acquiring Deshaun Watson won't act accordingly this offseason and get better where it's so obvious they could get better at defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I would agree. And I'm the last guy that's going to sit here and scream that you need to fire this guy or that guy. This defense, it needs a adjustment. This defense is reactive, it's passive, and guys like Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, John Johnson III, Grant Delpit, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Denzel Ward, Martin Emerson, those aren't guys that are passive. Those are guys that you should be turning loose and go create havoc. And yeah, we're not doing that defensively.
They're not. It's been he's not innovative enough. He's not imaginative enough. I've talked about this before. None of his game plans, like the best defenses in the NFL, Dave, I feel they morph themselves every week into whoever they have to be to beat your opponent. And you just don't see the Browns defense doing it. It's just like, this is who we are every week. Here's what we run. And there's no adjustment. There's no week in, week out, in-game adjustments. All of those things are lacking. And it's very, very like, this is us. Here we are. And I hate that philosophy. Like, they should be changing every week to take whatever you have to do to beat your opponent, you turn into that for that week. And they have the players to do that. They have versatile players. They have, like you're mentioning, aggressive players that can adapt. And they're just not using these players correctly, in my opinion. And it's just, 3 years of Joe Woods. Like, last year, a late season uptick in the defense was good enough to save his job, but you cannot let that fool you again. That would be dramatically it would just be a dramatic mistake for this front office and for Kevin Stefanski to run it back with him again. I just can't imagine them making the mistake. In fact, I think they've probably already made their decision, Dave.
Yeah, I would think there's a fair possibility that that's true. The other thing that I will say, I think they made a miscalculation with defensive tackle. You can't
100%.
You can't pair the defensive tackles with the linebackers that you have. And I like your line. There are pieces of the linebacking core. I see what you're doing. You want to be fast. You want to play sideline to sideline. You're going to be a little undersized so you can run with it. But you can't do that with light defensive tackles. That doesn't work.
It doesn't. And I think we'll see that adjustment in the offseason. I think they'll, you bring in a guy with a new philosophy, and I think that they will spend on bringing in, a starting caliber defensive tackle. I don't know where they evaluate Perion Winfrey right now, but you definitely need to bring in at least a starter and a rotational guy and work from there. But they definitely need to upgrade that room, and it's never been more obvious. So I think that will get the attention it deserves this offseason.